We're born with Chiron in one place in our chart. That is our existential original wound at birth that we're here in a lifetime to heal. Oasis of goodness. That's my vibe here. So this is a part of the week where, yeah, a soulmate love story could happen, or a dreamy, creative, artistic breakthrough or endeavor. This is one of those astrology weeks ahead that I get to talk about the good stuff. I am really surprised by how positive this little oasis will be, given we have that Gemini moon squaring the nodes of fate just behind us on the 14th of June. But moving through June 14th to the 21st, we're starting to see some light at the end of a lot of different tunnels. One of the beautiful lights we're seeing is Venus. She's beautifully flowing to both Uranus for positive surprises in love and money, and to Neptune for dreamy, creative, artistic, and spiritual soulmate energy, for lack of a better word, in areas of love and in areas of friendship. When we move ourselves forward, though, at the end of this week, which will be coming up on the 21st, Sunday, we're going to see Chiron and the sun come into a flowing union called a sextile. Now, this is important because Chiron has entered into the sign of Taurus, where he will be inhabiting that sign until September 17th. And the sun's flowing vibe towards that Chironic story is literally a kind of clue to some of the energies that we'll be collectively healing over the next 3 months. So that energy of Chiron and Taurus began on the 19th of June and closes out September 17th. This is a test run of the earthy sign of Taurus by the wounded healer himself. If you're new to my astrology, welcome. I am Lori Lothian. This is Western Tropical Astrology. And in today's video, we're going to talk about what looks like an oasis of goodness in an otherwise very challenging second half of the month of June. And in today's astrology, I want to share with you just a happy story. Code CELEBRATE, all capital letters. I am celebrating the fact that I somehow managed to get to 150,000 subscribers. I am so jazzed. And that is something that just occurred in May. And if you want to celebrate with me, you can get all of my course replays now at my new website, lorilothian.com. Click the courses button, and there for 40% off, courses like finding past lives in the chart, finding the people in your chart, spouses, husbands, children, which planets represent them, your career, your purpose, your natural talents and gifts, and many more fun and educational, short 90-minute to 2-hour courses, and PDF slides included. These are replays of classes I've taught before. All right, let's get started. The Chironic energy for me is exciting. I want to see what the new story is, as Chiron has entered Taurus, and I am doing a webinar. Check out the description box below if you want to sign up for that webinar, talking about how to use this Chiron and Taurus test run. But for me, it's an exciting time because I have lived through Chiron slogging through the sign of Aries since 2018-19, where my sun is and where my moon is and where my Mercury is. It's been a ride, I'll tell you that much. And having this move on into Taurus, I feel like a bit of a sense of relief. That's not where my major placements are, and it is not probably going to be as intense. We can only cross our fingers. But where Chiron goes, we learn the lessons of our true purpose, the key to purpose, through the archetype of the wound. We're born with Chiron in one place in our chart. That is our existential original wound at birth that we're here in a lifetime to heal. But this week ahead, what's exciting to me is that Chiron will be flowing to a sun energy. This flow, the sextile from the sun to Chiron, is something that can give us a real light, like a flashlight. I don't have a flashlight here, but imagine my water bottle as a flashlight. The sun is like a flashlight that lights up Chiron in Taurus and gives us a kind of clearer image or a view of what this lesson might be for each of us based on our sun, moon, and rising as we go through the entirety of this time until September 17th. So we'll bring that up for your sign. I'm excited. Chiron is the healer, the mentor, the guide. He was known to teach the healing arts, and he was also mentored by the great healer Asclepius. Chiron is also the noble warrior, and he is also very much about the shamanic world. Often when we talk about Chironic healing, we're looking for alternative healing methods like chiropractors, hands, chiro is hands, but all kinds of modalities, Reiki, etc., are often acupuncture, more Chironic in terms of medical procedures. But one thing I will say, any kind of new technology, any kind of new way of healing your body that is not medical allopathic medicine can often be very chironic. And in Taurus, we're going to be coming into a time over the next 7 years where we're going to have a lot of new technology, but more like earth-based wisdom as well, using both technological innovation, that's Uranus in the sign of Gemini, but also going back to nature's balms and poultices and herbs and food as medicine. You'll see what I mean. We're going to be paying a lot more attention to medicine and agriculture and food, including cleaning up the toxic ways that we grow things so that the food we cultivate is rich in nourishment and not poisonous to us, right? So those are shifts we'll see collectively. But one thing I would say to you, I'm noticing already that chironic healing tools like quantum healing hypnosis or quantum healing technology have a place in the chironic narrative. They are tools that take us to a more magical realm or a more unusual, non-traditional realm of healing. So one of the things I like is the Spooky 2 and or Halo product that I have been experimenting with. And my sister Nancy happens to be, I'm an affiliate for these guys. They're having a Father's Day sale until June 22nd for $80 off, Lori 80, code below. But it's more like I've tried the product and it works. So my sister Nancy, former 30-year hospital nurse, also connected to her own Reiki practice, has been experimenting with a new portable and programmable quantum healing tool called Halo and had incredible results. And she used it a couple of times on me at a distance. One time I had like this complete sinus congestion headache. I mean, really bad about 2 months ago. And I thought, I can't even function with this. She put Halo on nasal decongestant at a distance with a proxy doll for me. Completely, literally, I just drained the sinuses completely naturally within 2 or 3 hours of her activating the long distance Halo device. So she's coming on my channel to talk about how this shit works. And we'll have an outro at the end. If you want to see my sister Nancy talk about how it works, go check it out. I think you'll enjoy her. She's really fun to talk to. It's really short, 10 minutes about how the Halo device works. So go see it, the outro, click the timestamps. But if you want to try this device, it's portable, it's programmable. You can program it for things like for prosperity, for feeling better about your, your emotional problems. And you can also use it for your physical ailments. So give it a try, right? This is not medical advice, and this is not meant to replace your medical doctor's advice either. It's just an add-on tool that has a very chironic element. So check the outro at the end if you want to know more about it for fun. Otherwise, there's a discount code below, Lori 80, for Father's Day. And I think the code lasts until June the 22nd. Now, let's get started. I'm going to show you the sky. We're going to go through the week ahead. Again, oasis of goodness. That's my vibe here. Guys, it's been rough because we've had some really intense skies. Yeah, the first half of June has been pretty okay. But we just had on the 14th, all right, the day maybe this is dropping for all I know, we had a very intense, or we are having a very intense lunation in which the moon itself squares the south and north node, particularly bending, I believe, if I remember, the north node. But on top of that, it is connected to Uranus. Uranus is in a tight nodal bending. Uranus is in Gemini. This is a really powerful lunation, new beginnings in the sign of Gemini. And we also have the asteroid Urania on this moon. Urania can be things to do with outer space, space weather, astronomy, and things that come from outer space. Yeah. And so this is still in play this week ahead. The moon happening on the 14th, a day or two before, maybe 2 to 3 days around the moon after. You're really in the epicenter of that lunation. Because I've already done a video on that, please go check it out. That video is already in my playlist. It already is in the sphere of your all signs delineation with world astrology added to it. So go watch that video for how that moon might unfold a bit this week ahead. In the meantime, again, the oasis of goodness. Venus is sextiling Uranus. We're going to feel that right away, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Venus is trining Neptune. We're going to feel that later in the week around the 16th, 17th, and 18th. And then on the weekend, we're going to feel this on as early as Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Sun is trining Chiron. I'm going to show you the sky. We're going to roll through this. Don't forget to like and subscribe. When you like and subscribe, it helps the channel grow. Hit the notification bell and hype the video. Ding, ding, ding. Do all the things that are like the tip jar without any cost. If you want to be my member, join my members only community here, please do. I have extended versions of the weekly astrology for all of my members, every single weekly astrology forecast where I talk more freely about the geopolitical situation without shadow banning demonetization risks. And the second thing I want to share is If you want to join me on my Patreon community, I teach classes there, and you get a lot of content around 4 Zoom meetings with me a month. Go check out my Patreon community and see what you guys think. All right. So, and finally, I'm in my new apartment. I'm looking for something on the wall. Maybe it should be a neon thing, right, on air. And there I finally have a place for my YouTube plaque. And this is like an angel doll that I love. She's been blessing me for a long time. So I'm looking to finish up this story behind me in my new place. I'm still unpacking boxes. I moved June 1st, and now it's June 9th. All right, so let's roll. Let's start looking at the sky from the perspective of what we've got going on. This is at the end of the week. Let's move us backwards to the beginning of the week. Okay, so on the 14th of June, we have a new moon. It's going to happen here at 24 degrees, memory serves me, of the sign of Gemini. And you can see Uranus is squaring the nodes of fate, bending the north node, pretty intense. I've got a lot of little asteroids in here from a video I was doing for other reasons and other miscellaneous hot messes. Let's just pull all that stuff away so it's not distracting you. We certainly don't need the midheaven in here either. So let's take away a lot of the junk in the trunk. Okay, that's good enough. So as the week begins on June 14th, of course, Sunday, we have a moon. It spills out into the week ahead, of course. It could even unfold over a course of a month until the next new moon. And it does rattle and roll all the way through Gemini territory. And I covered that in the video I've already done, but expect major changes with Gemini people. This was exactly on Donald Trump's sun, exactly more or less on his sun, 2 degrees away from his 22-degree Gemini sun. And he's got Uranus up in Gemini as well. He's getting ready for a massive Uranus return that happens to all of us at age 40, 84 years old. So he's going to be impacted by this moon in Gemini. Okay, covered that already, but just be aware of that. In what erratic way will he now operate more so than usual, or new beginnings or turning points of change from him? Let's just say that's the gist of that story. So put him on your radar this week ahead, even on the weekend, okay? And also, you're going to notice that as we begin the week ahead, Venus has migrated into Leo. And that's something that I covered. She got there on Saturday the 13th in my time zone. I put the video at Saturday the 13th. It talks about how Venus and Leo will bless each of us. And I talk about specifically your sign and how to use this transit that lasts for about Venus and Leo. She's there until... All right, July the 8th. So June 12th, 13th, time zone dependent, until July the 8th, we have Venus moving through Leo. And your advice for how to use this glorious transit, an entitled Fiery Queen having her way with us, is already out, and you can go back and watch that video. Please do. I'll try to remember to put it in my description box for you. It's a big story this week. Venus enters Leo. Video is already out. What we're focused on, though, is as Venus has entered the sign of Leo, we'll notice that she's up to some really interesting storylines. The first thing we see is that sextile to Uranus is occurring. Now, you have to make a context for a happy money and love surprise here. It won't be, for most of us, like a jackpot Powerball. What it could be is like something positive, slight surprise in love and money stories that brings a smile to our eyes, and it's going to be there, or to our mouth, and a twinkle in our eyes. You're going to feel the Uranus surprise with Venus coming through like an electric prod of goodness. Yes, possibly on Sunday, possibly on Monday. I doubt that you'll feel it into Tuesday, but there's another story here. So we'll go to Tuesday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. The story is that Venus is tapping onto what started with Uranus back in the day when they had a co-joining or a conjunction at 29 degrees of Taurus on April the 24th. You can go back for this week ahead's useful tool is go back to your April the 24th time, right? Go back and look at what you were doing April the 24th. Around that time, that was a seed of a new beginning, surprise, fresh starts, electrical currents, Venus in her home kingdom of Taurus, 29 anaretic degrees. And it completes a story that began back in 2019 when Uranus was really settling into Taurus, and a little bit in 2018 as well. And it's sort of the unpredictable turbocharged change and freedom and electricity of your Taurus sky that Uranus was playing with for all of those years. Now done with that, he's in Gemini. And she was always adding her 2 cents, always coming up to Uranus and saying, how can I collaborate with you in my home kingdom of Taurus? What do you need from me? And by the way, please behave. You know, she's trying to manage him. And so this is the last in our lifetimes. You have to live another 84 years for this cycle of Venus and Taurus, and Venus and Uranus and Taurus combining forces in a conjunction every year. It's the end of a cycle that began in 2018, 19, and is now over. And unless you live for 84 more years, will not return to us. So ideally, this is important that this little gift from her is a parting gift. It's like, I've been, having a blast playing with Uranus and Taurus in your whole sign house for Scorpio. That's your marriage house. Little freedom, little polyamory, little marriage sabbaticals, little disruptions maybe to your relationships. Uranus has been here, but Venus was trying to always add some blessings. And now she's moved on and she's in Leo. And this little touch point is going to be a kind of vibration of a remembering of the end of a story that had to do with your Taurus sky and the beginning of a new story that has to do with Uranus's role in your Gemini sky. Venus has no power over Uranus. She doesn't own the sky. Mercury does own the Gemini sky, but she's still here trying to bring you a kind of a bitter party, a sweet ending to what was happening in Taurus, and a spark of the new story that's emerging here. Because in June of 2027, she will join at 6 degrees of Gemini Uranus and begin a 7-year cycle starting next year, June of 27, of joining Uranus in that Gemini place in the world. For like the United States of America, that's the house of open enemies, for example. Okay. Look for a happy money and love surprise. I'll cover your sign in more detail. That's the beginning of this week ahead. At the same time, Venus, the goddess of love, beauty, and creativity, goddess of fertility and pregnancy as well. By the way, unexpected pregnancies that are happy surprises. That's a Venus-Uranus story for anyone who might think Sunday, Monday, Tuesday would bring that into their life or the life of their family. There you go. But Venus will also bring that trine to Neptune. And you'll see it's already building as Tuesday emerges. So probably feeling this dreamy, soulmatey, kind of divine love, higher love, pure love, melting love for the beloved, a kind of high love, spiritual ideals in love. Very, very soft energy and very flowing, but there's fire and fire. So Neptune and Venus are sparking initiative, taking risks in love, creativity, and maybe even in money in some way. Neptune rules modeling, photography, filmography, videography platforms, storytelling, glamour. And Venus is like, oh, love, like a queen on her entitled throne. You could meet a dreamy soulmate under this story, or twin flame, or divine complement. Call it what you like. Now, the window of this intersection is most acute or exact, or most likely to be in your face. Although it's building on Sunday, it's exact on Tuesday, Wednesday, that window of Tuesday, Wednesday, and we cross into some exactitude. So this is a part of the week where, a soulmate love story could happen, or a dreamy, creative, artistic breakthrough or endeavor, or something to do with money and engaging in powerful throne-like, queen-like manner. She's in the sign of kings and queens. The sign of royalty. If you're a performer, artist, or creative, this is a lovely energy for, maybe some kind of muse that just flows through you like you've never seen before. And it's just like you've never seen before because Neptune hasn't been in Aries, right? That's his new place to hang. And for him to work with fiery Venus, this is a nice new vibe. I mean, Neptune got here at the end of January for full-time occupation of the Aries sky. He touched base in that part of your sky last year for a while, March to October. So we've had a flavor of him here, but this is the beginning of the real digging in. He's not going to leave for quite a few years until 2039 or so, when we finally end Venus trining Neptune. So every year almost until 2039, there's a skip out in 38, but the final touchdown is 39. So think about how love, inspiration, the muse, creativity, fashion, glamour, Hollywood, screenplay, storytelling, modeling, cosmetics and fashion, beauty and love are all connected to this fire trine on the regular. It's pretty cool and it's pretty exciting. If you ask me, I like it. And one more thing to say is that as Venus and Neptune are doing this dance, this trine, this flow, it's coming off the larger story of their conjunction, where they came together and held hands and became one, so to speak, on March the 7th. Maybe some of you can go back to March the 7th, 2026, when Venus joined Neptune at 1 degree of Aries, because this is where the story began. So I want you to take some notes right now. Get a pen or paper, please. Try it out. See if you can make sense of it. On March the 7th, these two planets joined together. What happened in love and money stories and dreamy and spiritual energies as well. And then on May the 22nd, Venus would have been in Cancer squaring Neptune. So that's the opening square, like a first quarter moon. Then on this time frame, she's trining the opening trine, the nature of Jupiter, bringing blessings and opportunity, coming through here around the 16th, 17th of the month. And then she moves forward into August the 10th, and she's opposing Neptune from Libra, her kingdom. She'll be right here opposite him. So take that note of that, because these stories are all connected. They're one story in several pieces. And then on February the 5th, 2027, she'll be in Capricorn, boss babe, squaring Neptune. And you'll notice something about that story. Neptune is ready to be activated in a cardinal sign. So here she is, in opposition to Neptune, August the 10th from Cardinal Libra. Then she's going to be in a square from Cardinal Capricorn. And there's a lot of angularity along the lines of pivot points of destiny unfolding, in, like the wheel of fortune in your life. There's a major momentum in cardinal signs for you and for everyone. So this is like a nice flowing time frame that came off of her conjunction March the 7th. And and then her opening square May 22nd. So try to connect March 7th, the beginning, the inception, May 22nd, the testing of proof of concept, and then roughly around those times, a day or two on either side. And now we're getting a flow and a glow and an opening, like a blossoming energy, like a fruiting and blossoming of something we're trying to get off the ground in love or money, perhaps. And this is on the 16th, 17th. It's funny. I got invited by Emilio Ortez to be on a show. I love his channel. He's one of my top people that I really enjoy. And it's so funny because this will be me recording with him on the 17th under this Venus-Neptune trine. I didn't plan it that way. And that's just so beautiful that it happened. So keep that in mind. So this is a story. And lastly, Chiron. At the end of the week, Chiron at 29 degrees will be, of course, where am I? Venus, moving forward. He slips over on the 19th into the Taurus sky, and now the sun will move over into the Cancer sky, and there's that sextile between the two of them, a flowing energy, the nature of Venus on June the 21st. Happy solstice, June the 21st. And what does this mean? Well, it means something positive, flowing, and useful connected to to Earth, Taurus, and watery energy, the sun. And it's interesting that the sun is ruled by a Virgo Earth moon as well right now, and connected to an idea of something to do with our wellness, our health, our sacred duty and devotion. And even if you take it a bit further ahead, that the moon will enter into Libra and we'll get that cardinal energy activated. But I don't think that this is negative here. It can't be. It's a sextile, but it's going to be like a flashlight shining into your Cancer sky and into your Taurus sky to see what healing energies Chiron wants to work with. Don't forget, check out the end of my video where I'm sharing the healing tool of Halo and how it might work for you to do magical Chironic type healing at a quantum level in your life. And it's kind of fun. Lori80 is my code for a discount. It's a Father's Day special by the creators of Spooky 2 and Halo. And I'm one of their affiliates because I've tried the products and for me, they work. No guarantees they work for you. For me, they work. So go watch my interview with my sister, Nancy. We're going to whip around the sky. We're going to start with Aries and we're going to roll, right? Let's get rolling. Let's bring us back to the beginning of the week. Let's roll into Aries stories. All right. Now, I know world astrology. I'm going to save a lot of the world astrology to the members only section at the back. There is a reason for that. It's often shadow banning suppressing. I'm not sponsored by many, I don't have sponsors. I get ad revenue for money here. I could get sponsors, but I'm just sort of saying I'm going to be cautious. And I really have some concerns about the situation going on with Mr. Trump, because of that lunation behind us, and with Iran having its natal sun conjunct Saturn right now. So there's a lot about what's happening in the world that I'd rather not speak about here. Also, very well-known figures who have Leo placements, J.D. Vance, Donald Trump, and Erica Kirk, and/or fire placements, Tulsi Gabbard, Sun, maybe even Mars, if I remember correctly, in her Aries sky. These types of people are highly activated in this week ahead. And so why they're so highly activated is, and how I think it's going to work out or not, is what I'll be talking about in the video extended versions member only section. And particularly also my attention is on BB, because we have that Uranian bending of the nodes of fate directly opposite his ascendant. Sagittarius 9 degrees, which would be indicating a kind of a grand cross, a crucifixion cross happening in his chart. Okay, and so at a destined fated level, full of electrical currents of unexpected and shocking change. So there's some things about his hold on power or his role in the world that may be also dramatically changing over the next week or so. So those stories are all embedded in the actual extended members only section. So we will talk about that there. Let's go ahead and talk about your sign. Aries, sun, moon, and rising sign. Am I recording? Praise God, I am. Let's take another sip of my calm tea. It looks to me like for us, I have a sun and moon here. As the week is opening, we are flowing with that Venus surprise, and the money and love surprise is happening. You could win a lottery on this one, so don't be shy about playing a ticket. In fact, that's true when Venus travels through your 5th house through until her finishing point on July 8th. But the Iranian surprise means a local lottery kiosk ticket in the local neighborhood or online purchase zaps you with a little surprise. But it doesn't have to be a lottery ticket. It could be an unexpected travel opportunity, romantic leisure travel opportunity, an unexpected viral hit in your entrepreneurial creative endeavors online, an unexpected flashpoint of something good happening regarding a sibling or a child, or an unexpected discovery your mate and partner, or your child is pregnant. So there's these like flashpoints of surprise. Get ready for them. And you're going to feel that Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. House of good fortune and fertility is where Venus is sitting. And Uranus is in your online social media house, as well as writing, teaching, traveling, and communicating. All I can say, it's a pleasant and positive surprise. We move forward into the week and we talk about kind of Monday through to Wednesday. Now we have dreamy soulmate love, true love. Venus is in the house of falling in love, romantic love, and sexual love, and she rules your long-term commitment house. So there's a nice little sweet spot for single people who are looking for love to have this gorgeous little surprise, because it could be hanging out at the local restaurant, going to the post office, your neighborhood, a sibling introduction, or something you're doing by traveling, or even in the online sphere. You could be flashpointing for a real connection to somebody, and it's going to be very dreamy. So we still have the Uranus influence, and we have the dreamy stuff. I connect that energy to divine complement energy, finding a union of a romantic attraction with somebody that you are feeling a deep spiritual connection, a higher love, a deeper love, a truer love, a big love. If you're not single, then this could really ratchet up your romantic life with a long-term partner, bringing numinous, transcendent, and spiritual levels of sexual and romantic connection to you and that partner. Or for you creative artistic types, you are just at a new level of expression, and something artistic or entrepreneurial is coming through you, almost like you're channeling it during the muse is channeling through higher planes of existence. And let yourself channel, let yourself allow it to come through you. Especially if you're doing a channeling for writing, communicating, and online world stuff, your ability to speak to stuff that is high level without even like thinking, it's very intuitive, is going to happen. Now, the other thing about you guys is that you're going to end up with that Chironic touch point. Sun will sextile Chiron on the weekend. You're going to feel that really picking up around Friday through to Sunday. Well, it's actually going to happen. Let's migrate after the 19th. Okay. So let's go for the 19th to the 21st. There's going to be this solar energy in Cancer. Trust me, the sun will be here. And as that happens, I'm still on June 14th, right? I'll move us ahead a day, but I don't want to lose much of the wheel. So the sun will have moved into Cancer and Chiron will have moved into Aries. So let's go for the 20th, 21st, the 20th and 21st of the month. This is going to give you on that weekend, Saturday and Sunday, a kind of flashlight look at what Chiron is wanting you to see here. I guess I should move forward for your ease. And then from now on, I'll stay on this story. Okay. And hours back, roughly. So Chiron is here. The sun will have moved here. It's about money and healing wounds, about worth, self-worth, and money, about deservingness, about speech, about your face and how you look, about what you put in your nose and mouth, healing that, even medically healing that with Chiron, but kind of alternative healing if you can, and all natural healing and dietary changes if you need. And it talks beautifully to the sun. And the sun is saying, I got a flashlight here. North Node says you could probably turn around addictions as well. And look to what it is you're learning down here. This can be a connection to, oh, sorry, this is going to drive me nuts. I'm going to try to keep the sky aligned for the rest of you. This is going to take you to your ancestral line, your family of origin, your childhood, things about the roots of growing up, where you might have had an existential wound about your facial appearance, or your ancestral line had certain beliefs about prosperity and money that have held you back or will hold you back if you don't work on shining a little healing light into it. So you might also have a beautiful moment where something about your voice, your ability to speak something in a way you want, is kind of flowing in a liberated way through the sky. And you might even be something you have to say from your home has a beautiful healing vibration to it and is a very powerful speech or something you need to say Saturday and Sunday, whether you're saying it to people you live with, whether you're saying it to your friends and fam, it doesn't matter. Maybe you're saying it to your audience and marketplace in this guy. So your voice can be a healing. Your words can be healing. Your words can be medicine for other people. Taurus, sun, moon, and rising. I want to focus us here on the fact that Chiron will be in your sign, FYI, for 7 years till 2033. So get ready. This is a test patch until September 17th. Go watch my longer Chiron and Taurus videos. There's 2 of them. You might want to learn about that. But here we have a week ahead where at the beginning of the week, I'm going to keep the sky set for the end of the week. Okay. Why am I doing that? I'm doing that because it's easier for me not to lose track of the rolling of the wheel here. But at the beginning of the week, which is the week of the June 14th to the 21st, Venus will open up a lovely surprise between 2nd house and 4th house matters. Can be surprises connected to your financial success in life, your money, your earnings, your wallet, your pocketbook. And as Venus rules your house of work, I'd say a raise, a promotion, a new job opportunity, a job interview, but something surprising you, especially if it's close to home or from home, the workplace that you might be looking at. You might get literally a really lovely, unexpected gift from somebody in your home, like here's a bouquet of flowers or something beautiful, or an unexpected opportunity to buy or sell or possess something connected to your home life. There's a surprise, of course, because it's Uranus. And because Uranus is in an earnings house and he is trining Pluto and Venus rules your work house, I think for a lot of you, and Venus is your ruler, there's a very pleasant surprise connected to work and livelihood. And it may even be something to do with how you can work from home or decorate the office in your home, but it feels like an upswell of surprising, positive, lighthearted energy. Feeling that Sunday through to Tuesday. Then also on kind of Monday through to Wednesday, Venus does that soulmate, like beautiful divine complement full of fire and inspiration, and it can connect to decorating the home, doing art or creativity at home, solitude, creative artistic projects done alone. So if you have a creative artistic hobby you do alone, then this is beautiful. Looking for real love, then first, deep love, true love, and you're single, you might meet someone really close to home, but they may have an element of the foreigner to them, somebody who hails from a distant land, foreign shore, or another country or city, maybe, well, more further than a city, like far away people. And there may be an intersection close to home. And, I take that dog down the street, for goodness sakes, and go to the dog park. I mean, love close to home can flourish here. Or office love that's you keep it under wraps, crushing on someone in the office space, that could happen too. But it's got a dreamy divine complement to it. And then as we move towards the end of the week, we're going to see the energy playing out. That is that chironic healing. And it's the beginning of a new story. A flashlight is shining on what the interior wounds are to your Taurus sun, your profession, your Taurus moon, your emotional life and your mental emotional complex, but also your home life, and Taurus rising, your character in the simulation, including your body. So if anything needs healing in any of those areas, as you are, especially for you, Taurus sun and moon and rising in the first 3 degrees of Taurus, you're really feeling this energy of the sun. This is going to be felt kind of Saturday, Sunday, Monday. The sun is shining a flashlight on your third house into your chironic wound. Look to situations with siblings in particular, where sibling relationships have been wounded, or with friends in the local hood or friends from childhood, and healing those friendships, healing things to do with your ability to write, to teach, to learn, to travel, to communicate, and even some healings with extended family members, including cousins and stuff like that. So there's this, again, overall sense of something is going to be healed inside of you through your intersection with these folks here. Okay. And because the North Node amplitudes it as well into a mini trine, look for friends as allies and benefactors to participate in the healing for you. Now, I'm just about to open the window because for some reason it's 1,000 degrees in here. Who would have thought it? And I'm going to grab a little chocolate break early and I'll be back to finish this up. That was Belgian lavender chocolate. It was insane. It was so good. Let's go back to the story of the signs and the week ahead. I don't know. I didn't sleep well last night. I was up for 2 hours under that Mercury Saturn square recording on June the 9th. I know it's a double conjunction of Jupiter and Venus, and I still had a rough sleep last night. Okay, guys, we're going to trundle along into our next story. We are moving into the sign of Gemini. Gemini, sun, moon, and rising sign. Looking at the sky this week ahead, the first thing is a happy surprise in love and money. You're going to be delighted by something occurring here and here, here and here. Now, you are the surprise too, right? You might not be surprised. You may create the surprise. Uranus is in your sign, but nonetheless, there's some surprise coming through. Could be money because Mercury rules your sign and he's in a money house. But with Venus in the third house, the surprise can involve siblings, cousins, aunts, uncles, neighbors, childhood friends, or surprises involving things that happen in your local environment, short distance travel, or even the online realm, your virtual neighborhood. And I don't know, sometimes these kinds of surprises are really just a flashpoint, but you're going to feel it Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, happy love and money surprises. Venus might translate that to some sort of online surprise, like getting a viral hit or getting a surge of money from something you're doing in the online sphere, especially because Venus rules your house of foreign revenue and distant shore money and earnings, as well as your entrepreneurial and creative fifth house. So the surprises are coming through maybe the local hood, maybe the online neighborhood, or maybe through a sibling, very positive energy. Sunday through to Tuesday. Monday to Wednesday, Venus becomes all entwined with the soulmate story where she loves up Neptune. This is divine complement energy. If you're single, go to the local restaurants, hang out in the neighborhood, do things in the local environment, be willing to travel to little shorter trips or domestic travel. That could lend itself to a new relationship. And that divine complement could also come through introductions from friends or a sibling one older or siblings in general. So if you're looking for a new person because you're single, then this is how and why it may occur. But this is deeper love, higher love, big love energy, not just a fling, but some real spiritual connection. And with Venus also trining Neptune in this way, if you're an artist in the online realm and you do videography platforms, if you're a creative or content creator, wow, a nice glow up. This could lead to something like a celebrity moment or being getting a hit off the ground or being really well received by the general public and the audience at large. Venus rules your little house of stardom and performance, your fifth house, and Neptune's up there in where you have greater influence and career rewards. And so there can be that kind of vibe for some of you who work in this kind of sphere of creation of content using videography and podcasting and stuff. When we move past that story for Geminis, oh, and you could get a raise or a promotion from work if your work involves teaching, marketing, selling, writing, that kind of thing. Maybe even a dream come true publishing writing contract may show up under this blessed sky, getting an agent or something like that. And again, we feel that energy really strongly Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. As we go to the end of the week and we're talking about Saturday, Sunday, Monday, we begin to see the new flashlight pointing from the sun to Chiron. Chiron's now going to be moving through mid-September through your 12th house as a test run of what you need to heal, Gemini, to do with your own self-undoing, how you are a saboteur of your life, how you're your own worst enemy, whether you're just, lazy, where you can't stop, drinking alcohol when you should, or smoking cigarettes, or whatever you do. There's just some kind of self-undoing here. Sometimes it does involve literal addictions or substance misuse disorder, but your Chiron energy is going to start putting the healing touch to all of that where you might be wounded. And all of a sudden, you're seeing this glorious vibe where the sun says, let's put a spotlight on the food or substances that go through the nose and the mouth, which is the second house, that connect to undoing. And you might find a healer here. Sometimes in the 12th house, this is like a practitioner of something that can be very healing for you, or a type of healing modality that can clear this for you. Go watch the end of this video for my talk with my sister Nancy about the Chironic healing device by the Spooky 2 creators, quantum healing field technology, the Halo product, portable, easy to program, and so effective. But go check my code below. I am a sponsor for them, but I'm just telling you about it because I know it works. Lori 80, and it expires on June 22nd, I believe. The other thing I want you to pay attention to, finally, is that Venus is in a kind of, sorry, I want to say this correctly, because Venus is the ruler of your 5th house, and that's the house of romantic love. If you have been wounded with regards to falling in love, sexuality, and romantic love, there can be a nice healing vibe, okay? Monday through Wednesday, maybe it could connect to seeing a practitioner, a mentor, a coach, a shaman, I don't know. But if you do, maybe also in the local environment or in your online world, like something you learn, and it really can help you turn a corner on maybe feeling wounded in some area to do with romance, okay? Not just substance use and misuse disorders. When we move into your end of week, and we're talking mostly Saturday to Monday, the sun shines a nice little bright spotlight on your Chironic wound, and you're testing the new story. Oh, I covered that. So I repeated myself. Sorry, I got sidetracked by Venus for some reason. I'm not too sure why that happened. I just think that Venus is going to be, as a ruler of what Chiron's up to, and maybe translating that to sexual love, romantic love wounds as well, as she is also the possessor of your 5th house. I do not mind this Chiron energy with the sun Chiron as well, for something to do with illumination of values and self-worth, especially around money. And you might have some past life vows of poverty or something where you want to undo self-worth, self-value, and your value system that could hold you back from great financial success. Because Jupiter says great financial success, and the sun says heal a past life wound to illuminate where you hold yourself back on the financial front, Gemini. It's not polite to be rich, right? What did your family tell you? All right, Cancer sun, Cancer moon, and Cancer rising sign. You're talking about a week where the start of the week is yay you. You're going to be blessed by that gorgeous energy between Venus and Uranus for a surprise, kind of a parting gift that kind of connects a little to your 11th house, but also to your 12th. So the surprise can be about windfalls, pennies from heaven. The surprise can be about money connected to digital income or borderless revenue, or money from far off places, but also connected to allies, benefactors, and siblings. There may be an opportunity as well for a breakthrough in your own finances in some way. And it feels like a blessed surprise. A check is in the mail, and oh, look at this. What is this check about? Or what is healing here? Not healing, but what is surprising you to do with money surprises? And again, almost feeling like a bit of a windfall based on the original conjunction in Taurus between Venus and Uranus in April. Was it April? Whenever it was. In the intro, I explained it all to you. April 24th. Yeah. So if you can go back to April 24th, you might be able to connect a dot to where this kind of feeling of a nice surprise or a nice little financial boost is coming from. And then Monday to Wednesday, you're going to kind of vibe out with this dreamy, creative soulmate love story. It doesn't have to be that. These are work houses. This is like your public presence. This is your money and earnings. It all flows to your workspace, Arta. So you could be coming into this sort of like, this feels really good. I'm going to Neptune, have a dreamy, creative, artistic expression pay off financially. Right. Or you could be securing a steadfast place in a corporation for your dream job that has a kind of blessed amount of financial flow for you. But it's fire. So you want to take initiative. You want to be bold and daring. It's fixed fire for Venus and it's cardinal fire for Neptune. So it might be a fresh start, a new beginning connected to earnings, money, resources, career, and reputation. And if you are a creative type, right, you're already an artistic or creative type, then there could be a nice flourish of success in the expression, in the world, receiving your art, your creativity, with people wanting to cheer you on, even book publishing, because Venus exalts your book publishing house, excitement, creative projects you do in and from your home, more gains and rewards from your current career in blessed, flowing, beautiful, numinous ways. Okay, single, maybe a relationship can blossom with a divine complement connected to your work and job and career environment Monday to Wednesday. As you move away from that and we come into the weekend, May Saturday through to next Monday, the 22nd, the Sun and Chiron are hooking up with each other. And it is going to be flow energy. And you're seeing where this spotlight is for healing the wounds of your 11th house. Now, the wounds of the 11th house can be a belonging wound. Like, I don't belong to my social groups or social circles. You could heal a wound connected to the career path you're on being okay in terms of remuneration, the gains of your career, the perks and rewards of your career might feel a little dented or wounded. There might be a wounding with a friend or a sibling, one older, or a social group. And this kind of energy looks for a spotlight because Chiron here is not going to be here for a day. He's going to be here until September 17th. And then he'll be back again next April. So you're getting a sense of what it's like to have a chironic wound, likely of belonging, or purpose, misused purpose in career. And so keep your eye on that vibe. Get clues about it. The sun is you. Sun is in your sign, sun, moon, and rising Cancer, especially early degrees. You might be really like having an illumination moment, like a clear discernment and a clear understanding of where you've had 11th house wounds. A lot of people who have chironic wounds by birth and you're the 11th house never feel like they fit in. They never fit in with the high school clique. They weren't the most popular kid in the kindergarten room. There's a hard time finding one's place in group belonging. And so maybe feeling a sort of spotlight on where you may not feel so okay about it, but you're able to see it to heal it, or feel it to heal it, or understand it to heal it a little bit more. Again, that's on the weekend. That's kind of like the Saturday to the Monday vibe through to the 22nd of June. Go watch the little talk with my sister Nancy, Cancer rising girl. I'm her older sister, so Chiron's in the sign where I am. We're going to be talking about the halo at the outro of this all signs portion, and then we'll be doing the extended members. If you want to check out the halo, Lori 80, discount until June 22nd, Father's Day special. I'm an affiliate. This little halo device works. It's a very powerful quantum healing device. It's scary how accurate it and how effective it has been when I've been using it with my sister. Okay, moving on, guys. I know I'm pitching the product, but it works and they gave me a discount code. Leo, sun, moon, and rising, you are going to see this week ahead feeling like a really lucky opening. Like the first few days are amazing. On the 14th to like the 16th or through to Sunday through to Tuesday kind of thing, you're noticing that a surprise is waiting for you. It's Venus. You are beautiful. You are likable. You are charming. You are charismatic. You are going to be Uranian surprised. Now, this could bring you some money, some success, some fame, some attention from the larger groups of the world. And you're going to be well received because you are looking very convincingly charming and wonderful to the world right now. And you could have a nice little surprise from a sibling, one older than you. And you could have a nice little financial surprise in your career as well. All said and done, you don't mind Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. As we move towards Monday through to Wednesday, the dreamy love romantic vibe picks up steam as Venus will be in early Leo, trining Neptune in fiery Aries. I wonder if you are thinking of a destination trip to a foreign land for spiritual reasons, like meditation, ashrams, gurus, retreats, pilgrimages. And if you are having any of these thoughts, this is going to open up golden opportunities for those things to occur. But Venus is also in your chart a ruler of your third house of shorter distance travel. There may be travel opportunities to beautiful, warm places with sandy beaches and, water, Neptune. You could also find yourself or on hillsides above, like ram climbs up hills, right? The sheep climb up the hills looking over the water. Bah, bah. And you might find yourself having a travel opportunity connected to like sheeps on mountains overlooking water themes, but local or long distance. Also, Venus connects you to love and romance. And if you're single, you're attractive and a divine compliment may emerge from the land of foreign places through travel, or just they're from another country, or they have a different ethnicity or language. So falling in love with a foreigner is what I'm getting at. If you're single, you might find yourself very, very attractive to everybody with that Venus transit. And this is kind of divine compliment energy. And you might have some really beautiful creativity right now when it comes to things to do with publishing and writing and opening up like a channel for that work. It's almost like you're channeling a higher muse in any creative projects that you're into. When we move further down the road into the weekend, you're going to notice kind of like Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, or even Saturday, Sunday, Monday. So ending on the 22nd, there's a nice tight sextile between Sun and Chiron. There's a wound you're getting ready to experiment over 7 years with a Chironic 10th house wound. Father figures, authority figures, job, purpose, and career directions being not quite aligned with your deepest purpose. But in the meantime, the testing period is here. And until September 17th, Chiron is highlighting this for you. He moves on the 19th of June into Taurus. Go watch the long video, please. And come to my Chiron webinar if you want. Everything is in my description box below. This is Chiron and Sun. So it's a spotlight, a healing moment, a kind of clarity around something that you might be holding yourself back in your career connected to addiction, self-undoing, bad habits and patterns, or past life stuff, So it's a good time to investigate deeply or more deeply past life things, maybe even ancestral things in this guy, because Mars rules your ancestral line, that hold you back from expressing your purpose and career effectively in this world. And so the family of origin, growing up, ancestral line, and past life stuff, a spotlight there to help heal that wound, including ways that you undo yourself. You know what I mean? Like, check out, you're late for work, you sabotage your work of successes, maybe even sabotage your work through addiction. So there's a turning point spotlight to pay attention. What do you see here? Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday, like Monday to Wednesday. At the end of the week, Chiron, now since June 19th at 0 degrees. Oh, I just covered that. Didn't I? Yeah. Oh my God, guys, it's like one of those days. I was just covering that and I could remember where I was. The Chironic wound also opens up a channel to the North Node. The more you heal this wound, the more successful you'll be at obliterating karmic patterns, but also maybe increasing your financial wealth, according to the North Node. So pay attention to how those stories might also be useful. Now, there's a small chance that some of you might have a father figure in a hospital setting getting ready to pass on money, legacy wealth to you. And you might see that emerging as a story, a health challenge with a father figure in your family of origin. You might see that coming through Monday, Tuesday. Sorry, at the end of the week, I apologize. Around Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. So of the weekend coming. So ending on the 22nd of June. Virgo, sun, moon, and rising sign. So you're going to notice that you have this energy going on here of a Chironic wound that will be highlighted at the end of the week, but the start of the week is so bright and sunny, where you get a lovely little surprise from Venus and Leo and Uranus in your career house. Now, this can be a nice little perk in the world of your career, financially, a raise, a promotion, a better office corner, feedback, performance review, success, some kind of like career glow up, but it should impact the financial bottom line. And so there is that surprise for sure. Venus exalts your marriage house. You could get a wedding proposal out of this, but you might also just be looking at a money perk. And the 12th house is backroom deals and negotiations, who's been negotiating on your behalf. If you're at all looking at making some kind of changes in your work environment, Uranus is the unexpected and Venus is the financially positive. But if you work for international company or work in a different country than when you were born, where you were born, you work abroad, then this is even more positive for a positive financial surprise coming through the work story for you. And Venus also has the capacity to translate some of that to kind of getting like a boost in educational matters as well. So an unexpected surprise regarding things to do with universities, college campuses, maybe even if you're a writer, book publishing deals as well. So you're going to feel that energy going straight into the week, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Then on Tuesday, Wednesday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, kind of Wednesday, Tuesday, Wednesday is pretty exact. Dreamy soulmate love vibe, right? Higher love, deep love. Now, this is tricky because if you are looking for a relationship, then this could suggest relationship is hidden love or secret love. So you might meet somebody and they may be an age difference, FYI, and you have to keep it under wraps. You're not telling anybody about this thing, right? Well, I don't know why, but it's that sextile says, that trine, a fire trine says it's hot and exciting and deep and spiritual and secretive. So also I got for you. And it could be office romance with Uranus in the 10th house. There's a bit of that too. So that's your story. Keep it in mind. Office romance, secret romance, could happen here. At the same time, you might find this is financial, right? Because Neptune and Saturn are in a chunky money house. Venus rules your earnings and resources. And we had the surprise. And now we have this kind of consolidation of goodness, a trine of fire that opens up some kind of money flow. You could get money from a female, especially a female who's from a foreign shore or land. You could get inheritance money from a female if that female is in a hospital setting, that kind of thing. And or a court payment or court justice payment of a check coming your way, financially lobbing money at you, especially if it comes through the axis of marital separation agreements or spousal support stuff. You look like you might get a surprisingly positive outcome here this week ahead. You could also find yourself, this is like a real left fielder, but unexpectedly wanting to have a pet. And there may be this kind of transformational moment where you feel like not only do you have a pet, but it's like a soulmate animal coming in or a reincarnation of your former pet. These energies are very active at the beginning of the week, Monday to the latest Thursday. As we go into the weekend and we move towards and go back, by the way, to April, go back to March the 7th when Venus and Neptune co-joined. If it's about a pet, there was something going on March 7th or so that leads to where you are now. All roads lead from March the 7th to what this Venus trine Neptune is about. All right, so then we move into the energy of the weekend and kind of sort of Saturday, Sunday, Monday, that window of time, this coming weekend, 20th to the 22nd, you get a vibe of a spotlight on a chironic wound. And the chironic wound right here can be having to do with your spiritual belief and faith in God or a higher power or a spiritual life, a wound regarding higher education, a wound about legal matters, a wound about foreign land and foreign people, and a wound connected to a sibling too older if you have one. Two older than you. Someone asked me what I mean by two older. Two above you in birth order, two older than you, right? Three older is three above you in birth order. So this sibling is like trining, or this situation is sextiling the sun. It could also have to do with your clarity about healing a purpose wound connected to the career gains themselves. It's one thing to be making money and taking in the paper, the money, chasing the paper, taking in the paycheck, getting the recognition and the awards. And yet, is it the only thing to life? Because Chiron is in the Dharma house. He wants you to find meaning. It's a new story you're going to be working with for 7 years. And the first testing of that story, the vibe is now through until mid-September. Chiron tests your ninth house, your earthy zone. A sibling, one older, a friend or benefactor, someone who tries to help you in life, solar figure may come into play here, Virgo, and may shine some light on a place where you're wounded around finding the key to purpose in your life, very actively saying, this is not whatever I'm doing in my life, whether it's a job or your retirement plans, just don't feel on purpose. I want to find the deeper purpose here. I want to dig under for it. The North Node in the marriage house could bring your marriage partner into the story as well. And there may be some really golden opportunities connected to your long-term relationship partner. The Sun is trine the North Node, while at the same time opening up some kind of ninth house focus. And you could get a wedding proposal, Sun, Mercury, Jupiter, or a proposal to buy a home or move in together. And if there's a chironic element to be healed around this thing, then it has to do with what your higher powers, God, whatever you do with that thing, the thing you would pray to, has to say in collaboration with this idea of my partner and I are going to move in or buy a home or get married or whatever, and looking at it from a more deeply spiritual perspective. If you have a therapist, a business coach, a spiritual teacher, a shaman in your life, the advisor house of the nines is highly activated, and there might be a beautiful elucidation of a wound you have around what you really want in life, what you really desire in life, and you're going to see it more clearly, especially what you desire in long-term committed love. And there will be an illumination of clarity there, whether you're with someone or not. So look for that to happen on Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, the 20th to the 22nd. Oh my gosh, Libra, sun, moon, and rising. Am I really only halfway through the signs? Libra, sun, moon, and rising. I'm going to tell you got to start off strong with a happy money and love surprise as Venus jigs a leg here with jigs a lig, jig. I don't know what that means with Uranus. Uranus is in a fortunate Lakshmi house, wealth and bounty and goodness, and a house that's connected to one's dharma. And Venus is activating things to do with gains in the career, including awards, rewards, perks, raises, promotions, and including as well recognition, and also maybe more money. So there can be a surprising little tap on where you're going to get a nice commission check or a bonus or some reward or some kind of celebration around your success in your professional endeavors. And Uranus is actually really connected to that good old human resource department, or, the people in the sort of red tape part of the corporate world. And there's some kind of nice surprise here for you, no doubt about it. And you're going to notice that coming through Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. And sometimes a sibling, one older than you, may have a surprise in their life. And this could be, oh my God, they're pregnant or they're getting married. Some surprises regarding your grandchildren as well. Now, as we move past that surprise element and we move toward, and it can have some money surprises in the workspace for you, like a chunk of money coming that is more than you expected, pleasant surprises financially, or from a friend or from a sibling, unexpected travel opportunity abroad with a sibling one older or with friends as also indicated. Now, as we go towards Monday to Wednesday, we're going to see the dreamy soulmate love story. If you're with someone already, because this is your committed love house, and you see this trine, there's this nice vibe of friendly, higher love, moving towards a commitment with a spiritual undertone to it. Having a kind of something you might do, like with a person like your partner, like let's go and hang out with friends or do some social things if you're with someone. And this kind of illuminates a kind of beautiful, tender, spiritual, kind, melting in ecstasy kind of love if you are going to do something with the one you're with and involve other people in the friendship circles. Like going to a concert and you're both elevated by the music and you touches your souls and it brings you together more closely. This is on the weekdays, really, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, this week ahead. You could find you are also going to have a windfall It could happen with Venus-Pluto opposition. That's wealth energy through an unexpected development, perhaps Uranus. So an unexpected financial windfall, a vibe of being blessed by unexpected financial luck. Even with Neptune, it just feels like a dream come true. So there's that too. A dream partnership in business and a dream client or customer coming your way, and you hit the high mark, you hit the mark of what you really want. There's little three graces, the three cups in the tarot, a lot of celebratory energy coming through your sky, honestly, all the way through from Sunday to Wednesday. And Venus is giving you the goodie bag. And she's your ruler, Libra, so she's doing you a solid here. Now, as we move forward and we get into the weekend, and we're at Saturday the 20th to Monday the 22nd, this is where you're going to notice. Oh, and if you were single, I'm apologizing, single Libras, I mean, for goodness sakes, do things socially with friends, or let an elder sibling introduce you to someone, could bring in the love of a lifetime, okay? This is going to be true for singletons in the first half of this week. But at the end of the week, we get the Chiron Sun story coming through Saturday to Monday. This is the Sun in your 10th house of career and reputation, where everyone notices what you're doing. Even in retirement, people see you going off to golf or playing in the bingo hall, like little old ladies and guys, if that's your gig. I mean, I'm 64. I can't imagine that kind of thing. I could write books and do paintings in retirement, but I certainly can't imagine like just recreating, my humble opinion. It doesn't seem meaningful to me. I want to give wisdom back to the world, at least. That's just my character in the simulation. You do you. But the Sun is in the 10th house, and this is what you do in the visible world, and it's flowing down to the North Node, and it's sextiling Chiron. Go watch the Chironic Healing Halo outro with my sister Nancy, and come to my Chiron and Taurus webinar. But this is testing until mid-September how you have wounds to do with deep karmatic stories here. Also connected to matters of chunks of money, including spousal support and inheritance, including money from banks and credit card companies and financial institutions, and wounds, and maybe things haven't always gone as well as you'd like, right? So then the Sun is spotlighting that, giving a flashlight to it, and how your financial wounds could have, in some time in your life, felt like an impact to your visible reputation or career choices. And then there's a North Node to expand your success in your work. Worldly success and work. However, it could also be wounds around father figures in particular, how your dad or your grandfather or your uncle or someone who was important to you maybe left you feeling less than you happy about that connection you'd like. And so there may be some healing here, especially if there's a karmic debt between you and that father figure, and a real feeling of deep soul work, healing, releasing, and letting go of that wound. All right, Libras, especially regarding the father figure. So look for events that transpire then this weekend, coming Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. And Scorpio, Sun, Moon, and Rising sign. The energy goes on here. I was telling you that the week has got a happy surprise because Venus and Uranus are hooking up. And it's connected a bit to the last salvo, connected to long-term committed love. So it can be a surprise coming from a spouse. It can be a surprise about money and the spouse's in-laws and your money. Surprise, surprise. But with Venus in the 10th house, it's also your reputation and career and social standing. And there may be a positive career surprise where they're offering you a chunk of money, severance package, payout, bonus, commission check, whatever. And you're probably going to love this surprise. Or maybe you make a living where you get chunks of money, right? Commission checks are like kind of on top of your regular salary. You have bonus checks. And if you didn't expect a bonus check, for example, you could get one, or a tax rebate or something like that. With this, this is going to be the surprise Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Then we move further away from the story, and your partner in love, Venus rules, that may be the one delineating the surprise. Surprise, honey, we're pregnant. Okay. With Jupiter in the house of grandchildren, one of your children could say, because Venus exalts your children, surprise, we're pregnant, mom or dad. So there's that too. Now, when we move past that to Monday to Wednesday, there is this dreamy soulmate, higher love, twin flame, or whatever it is here. If you're single, look no further than the workplace. Okay, this is your time to meet somebody through your livelihood. I don't have to be in the office, maybe in the service of what you do, doing your job, meeting a love partner, dream love, soulmate love, higher love, that kind of vibe. Possibly you could also meet them in regards to areas connected to pets. Okay. maybe walking your dog or going to the vet, maybe. But there's this new love that can come in for single Scorpios. Not single, then it's probably work related, a kind of dreamy outcome coming through Monday to Wednesday regarded to work. And it does surprise you, says Uranus, right? Dreamy financial outcomes connected to livelihood, work, boss, job, career, and money. As we move past that story down to the end of the week and we hit the Saturday, Sunday, Monday, the 20th to the 22nd, then you're straight smack dab in the Chironic wound in the house of long-term committed love, business partners, and clients and customers. Well, though, Chiron here, and he'll be here till September, can mean you come into contact with a healer, a shaman, a guide, or a mentor. So it doesn't always have to just be the wound, but you're going to notice an illumination of a wounded energy that's going to be taking place here, by the way, on and off, really. But, you're going to feel somewhat wounded in the 7th house through to 2033, Chiron's new station in Taurus. And go watch my Taurus webinar for Chiron and Taurus. There's 2 of them I put out for your sign, and go also watch the outro where I talk about using Spooky 2 or Halo type quantum healing devices to heal our psychological, mental, and physical selves. And well, I have a little story about that with my sister in the outro. But Chiron is literally going to heal something connected to other people. So maybe you're not getting healed. Maybe they're getting a healing. And the sun is pointing us toward issues to do with purpose, alignment with purpose, being in alignment with one's dharmic path. Also healing father figure wounds that you may have had, especially in the 9th house. That's going to be really important. And there's an unexpected energy, that with Uranus so active in the sky with Venus. So some things here to flashpoints of understanding about the wound with a father figure and seeing it in a new light, seeing it in a way that you're no longer feeling wounded. This will be available to you on Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Okay. So also one more thing, yikes. The North Node can be unexpected pregnancy or unexpected surprising developments here regarding fertility and pregnancy. North Node, right? Venus rules that. She's hooked up to surprises with Uranus, but also the sun is illuminating a surprise. Now, funny, I have a Scorpio rising sun who's expecting a baby at, say, end of July, early August. Well, a surprise would be surprise. We got the due date wrong. Baby's here already. I don't know how it's possible to, say, be a month off. But if suddenly there's a surprise and there's a change of the guard here and there's a baby born to my child in the week of June the 20th to the 23rd or around that time, it wouldn't surprise me after looking at the sky. Okay. We do get due dates wrong and sometimes babies come early. So we shall see. You could find lastly, this Chironic healing is not about your partner. Like I'm having a healing connected to my wound of my relationship with my marriage partner or whatever, or business partner, but a wound around the archetype of partnering. Okay. So you're going to see a light shine on it to heal a wound of how you partner. And this also, the solar energy can translate this healing to more the father figures in your life, giving you some kind of wound about how you think relationships work. Maybe your dad and your mother didn't get along, but your dad was a rough guy. And you think about relationships through the lens of the failed father archetype. So this could be a lovely healing for that story as you move through the weekend into Monday, coming up the week ahead. So I'm talking about the 20th to the 22nd. Sagittarius, sun, moon, and rising sign. Feels to me like you're going to enter into a really nice bubble of surprise, courtesy of someone else, your significant other, your business partner, a client, an audience member. Uranus is in the 7th house and Venus is in the 9th. It could be a surprise regarding travel, opportunities connected to spiritual community, surprises in legal and court matters, at cases of, verifying that you're the winner. On the other hand, you could also have, for singletons looking for a relationship, a really cool energy coming through Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, where you meet a partner of destiny in a surprising way because this person's in your spiritual church or synagogue. 9th house is religion, things to do with higher education in your campus college setting, travel, long distance, or this person is a foreigner, but you could suddenly have a flashpoint of new love and romance. And because as the week progresses, Monday to Wednesday, Venus is trining Neptune, in the house of romance, and Saturn says karmic or, fated. A fated is a karmic relationship with somebody that surprises you, takes you off guard, like, suddenly you're madly falling for this person. And they may be a foreigner. They may have cultural differences, language differences, skin color differences, ethnic differences. Okay, so let's see how that goes for you. And certainly if you're traveling abroad or they are traveling, this could indicate how and why you come together and how you might meet each other. Monday through Wednesday, it's dreamy, it's soulmatey, it's beautiful. You want to pursue this as a love story. It will captivate you. Your partner in significant love relationships could be unexpectedly pregnant. You might unexpectedly discover you're going to be a grandparent. Those are stories coming through as well, Sunday through to Wednesday. Certainly, if you are looking for a relationship, this bodes well. If you're an artist, creative, or entrepreneur, you could have international success show up this week, or even success in areas to do with contracts and agreements regarding books and book publishing. As you move forward towards the end of the week and we come into the Chironic story, Chiron's in Taurus as of June 19th. I've done 2 videos on that for your sign. Go look on my playlist for that, or I will put that in the description box. I don't remember if I will, but we'll see what we do. And Chiron is moving into your 6th house of health. Now, he is like the medicine energy, the healer, right? So this is where you're going to start seeing chiropractors and alternative healers. And that's true for 7 years on health challenges, but Kairos, the hands, like the chiropractor. But you also might be looking at the need for healers, right? Chiron can bring the health challenges as well. And so as we have a solar spotlight, it kind of tells me that hidden challenges to your health will be revealed to you. If you didn't see them, now you'll see them more clearly, but it also connects to the nodal axis as well. And so these are ways that you can see the deeper roots of your problems for your health. And some of them come from your childhood, but some of them may come because you're you're currently living in a foreign place far from your homeland and you're really mopey about it. You may also come through a sense with the spotlight from the 8th house of looking at debt, the wounds of your debts. They can be debt karma to other people, but they can also be debts that you would literally hold with your bank, your mortgage, your loan, your credit card. The wounds of indebtedness or the wounds of a rental property situation being highlighted, and a spotlight on the financial part of it and how you can work to undo that or to repair that in some way. And if you're in a relationship that's not working, like you're at the tail end of a marriage and you're going to have to separate the assets, you might be working with some of those wounds as well, connected to the prospect of having to be in a situation where shared resources equals debts for you, like selling the home or spousal support. You're going to have to look at what debts you have karmically and physically over the next 7 years, but also pay attention to your health and find alternative means for healing for sure. Okay. But that's a highlight, a spotlight there when Chiron's here on the 20th to the 22nd, my time zone, that would be Saturday through to Monday. And you're getting an early taste of what Chiron is capable of showing you. A pet may have a health challenge, right? You may be dealing with an ailing animal in the home as well on the 20th to the 22nd. All right, so we're doing Capricorn. Just had a great organic apple and cheese break. Let's move into the sign of Capricorn. I'm having a weird day, guys. Capricorn, Sun, Moon, and Rising. The week ahead is going to bring you into contact with a happy money and love surprise starting on Sunday through to Monday, Tuesday. You're going to notice that Venus is loving up your 8th house of chunky money, and it's going to hook up. She is with Uranus. Now, there's 2 things happening here, as I said in the intro. This is also part of the old story of Taurus, where she had the conjunction back on April the 24th. So this could bring windfalls and pennies from heaven, or just lucky breaks or good fortune financially. Sure. But this kind of chunky money can also be money that connects you to that Uranus currently now in your 6th house. To me, it could be money that's allowing you to pay debts back or debts owed to you being returned suddenly. Mercury can bring debt repayment plans from a lot of different people, legal contracts, spouses, business partners, siblings, 3 older, 3 younger, but repayment of money or debt returned to you, repayment of what is owed to you could happen Monday through to Tuesday. Another surprise could be unexpected developments regarding animals, pets, and or job and work, and positive. Okay. So look for those to occur. Also banking, financial institutions, and stocks, and surprises that are positive there as well. And but we move past that story a little bit and we kind of overlap it with Monday to Wednesday. And on Monday to Wednesday, you end up with this nice energy flowing in your chart. And it's kind of dreamy and loving and higher love and deep love and spiritual love. It's kind of like complement, divine complement love. And it's going to open up a door between Neptune in Aries and fire in the 4th house and Venus in the 8th. Now, if it's a love story, then this is likely a hidden or secret love story emerging in your life that's very, keeping it under wraps, not sharing it with the world. If it's about money, which it can be, this dreamy flow, then there's something about money that could come to you in a single payout, unconnected to your normal money and earnings, but also connected to homeland, property, real estate, and also rental property and money connected to opportunities to rent properties. So it's kind of all blended together with the Uranian story as well. And so kind of like Sunday through to Wednesday, you're looking at, well, as some property narratives emerging. Possibly money could come to you from a parental figure from your childhood. In this case, most likely a male or a father figure, or somebody in your childhood you look up to as an authority figure. They would have to likely be older than you, and money coming through that way as well. If you're single and you want to be in a relationship, that could happen here. You could meet a dreamy soulmate love story, but it's likely pretty either close to home or, as I said, a secret love. So watch for that to emerge. And if you have any kind of situation from your childhood that is kind of like a deeply spiritual, if your ancestral line is like Neptunian, they're artists or creatives, they're glamorous, they're maybe connected to intuitive and interdimensional capacities, your occult arts belong to the 8th house. So I want to encourage you to pay attention to your dreams at night. The midnight hour, Neptune, Venus is in the house of the occult mysteries. And so this can be a dream about a dead person. It could be a dream about a dead woman. It could be a dream from a dead woman. In other words, the spirit realm might be really reaching out to you Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of the week ahead. Now, at the end of the week, we're going to notice, that you have this energy of Chiron on the 19th of June, moving into Taurus. This is going to be a story for a while until September 17th. And it is about your wounds of romantic love and sexual love and fertility and childbirth, and wounds to your children or about your children and your relationship to them. And when Chiron is in the 5th house, which he'll be until 2033, but he's just testing the waters now through till September, back next April, you're going to start to learn about not just wounded love, but the wounds of your relationship to love itself, right? Not like one love story, but the idea of love stories. So this is going to open up doors of new healing. And if you want to become artistic, creative, or entrepreneurial, you'll have to address, and to find your key to purpose, you'll have to address the wounds that you feel in response to your muse, like your interior response to inspiration and enthusiasm and creativity will be investigated. And Chiron here is saying, let's investigate it now. Let's test the waters, because he sextiles the sun. So again, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, 20th to the 22nd, illuminating not just love wounds, but love and commitment wounds, love and marriage wounds, wounds connected to your audience not receiving your creativity or entrepreneurial direct creations properly. We do have a nodal activation as well, quite possibly bringing in a sense of some wounds to do with creativity and art connected to teaching, learning, or writing, and even the word publishing. Conceivably, the sun can translate some of this illumination coming through another person, like a significant person in your life can shine a spotlight on your own particular chironic wound in the house of love, romance, sex, true love, creativity, art, and all of that. So be willing to receive illumination or insight from other people, including gurus or spiritual teachers, because of Jupiter's placement as well. And take my I did two separate videos on Chiron and Taurus. I also have a Chiron and Taurus webinar upcoming, information to sign up in the description box below. And I have a great little outro about Halo, a healing device with my sister. Go watch that as well. If you want to do quantum healing with Halo or Spooky 2, these devices are super cool and they can heal things on non-ordinary wavelengths. And I use it myself. Otherwise, I wouldn't share it. Okay. And it works. And Lori80 is your code for the Father's Day special that ends June 22nd. All right. Aquarius, sun, moon, and rising sign. You're having a journey here through the Venusian love stories. And now, because you have Venus in the house of business partners and love and marriage partnerships, audience and marketplace, and this can mean females as well in that realm, you are seeing Venus surprising you in a very positive way as we enter into Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of this week, starting on the 14th, Sunday, Monday, or Tuesday, 14th to the 16th, a happy surprise. Now, it is connected to Venus and Uranus, but also to her last conjunction in Taurus on April the 24th. It could help to go back to April 24th and ask yourself what was happening, what seeds were you planting to do with love in the home, or love of home, or home that you love. Okay, those are like codes for April 24th. But then generally speaking, now Venus is also working with your fifth house of sexual love and romantic love, and she's in the house of committed love. So there's some prizes here. This can be a fertility surprise if you are able to conceive, but with the moon in your ninth house, as well as we go into this event and part of the week anyway, it could also end up looking like surprises that you're going to have a child, a grandchild, that your children are having children, conceiving children. So surprises around children, grandchildren, fertility, pregnancy, but your own fertility, your own pregnancy as well. You and a partner may conceive. You could also have a beautiful surprise connected to a female in your audience, marketplace, client structures, and positive developments that in the general sense of good fortune, and also good fortune in the online realm. And Venus is a ruler of your home. There may be some positive directions in long-term and romantic love around buying a home, moving into a home together, that kind of thing. One thing about Venus here is that she could just bring you popular appeal with the public from your career path. And Uranus is the internet and the World Wide Web. So maybe a sudden, shocking, surprise, delightful hit, like something goes viral or is really well received with your audience, especially with the Neptune sextile to Uranus, which is videography. So something you put into the world does well. I'm an Aquarius rising. I don't know which one that would be, but I'd really be happy if something I did in the world came out well. Why not, right? So we'll see where that goes. And then we move into the trine. Now, if you were single and you were looking for love, just as we get that little surprise going, then we kind of bleed into Monday through Wednesday. Like Tuesday, Wednesday is really intense, dreamy soulmate love. So for singletons, I'm going to indicate surprising, dreamy soulmate love emerges because you are walking the neighborhood, doing the things in the local hood. You're going to take a short distance trip. You're busy online, teaching, learning. You're also in your social media sphere. And kaboom, you bump into a dreamy, divine complement soulmate story and you're off to the races. And that could happen if you are single. This could be the week where you meet somebody. If that's not what's going on and you're already in a relationship, you might want to do a leisure trip or getaway with a significant person in your life. They could turn out to be almost like spiritual, a luminous spiritual mystical type of time, traveling, being together with that person, kind of retreat, getaway, leisure trip, bringing surprising results, and maybe even a kind of sexual romantic time, but also in a numinous or elevated way, right? Something very magical here. Also, finally, if you do work in the online realm, then you might have extreme good fortune here. That could even include an increase of financial fortune. Venus exalts your money house coming through Monday to Sunday to Wednesday. As you move toward the weekend, well, that is that chironic wound testing the waters of the earth, I should say, of your fourth house. Now, a chironic wound in the fourth house is a new story for you, and it'll be here until 2033. But this is not the full testing. This is a preview through till mid-September. You have to wait till next April for the big story to really, really begin. But I think Chiron here, he's like, okay, well, are you going to address those childhood wounds, or should I do it for you? Like, dig deep, guys, go under the surface. Where did you experience some wounding in your childhood with your family of origin and the people you live with? And do you have some wounds around where you are homing yourself? Like you feel wounded in the home. You could also be mentoring, guiding, teaching others and healing from your home. But there's also this feeling of like the wounded roots of your childhood, the wounded home life itself, now as an adult, perhaps. And you're going to have a spotlight on it from the sixth house of health, work, debts, and pets. Now, Chiron sextile sun could bring you a pet. Yes, it could. A healing through a pet. Boy, do I want a pet. Like, I'm so ready for an animal in my life. It will probably be a dog. And this is exactly the kind of sky which says, oh my gosh, the 20th to the 22nd, I see the potential now. I see the light that a pet would bring me great joy and satisfaction. But also, you could be healing wounds connected to all kinds of sixth house matters, like the wound connected to your health, connected to your work, or connected to your childhood. The wounds connected to the sun could illuminate some wounds connected to how you approach long-term committed love, connected to your childhood, or how you heal wounds connected to your work and work routines connected to your childhood. Like I could say my dad worked like a workaholic and I took on the same thing as an adult. That's the childhood wound for me. I got to get over that. I work so hard that I don't have time to enjoy the results of my work. So my dad was the same way. So father figures wounding from childhood about work and health. So my dad's health suffered because he worked too hard. I'm giving you an example because I'm an Aquarius rising. Sun will always bring you in touch with solar figures. In this case, childhood wounding around solar figures to do with how your parent worked or had debts or, had health problems can influence a lot of other areas of your life, particularly how you approach long-term committed love. And there's going to be this intersection of time that you're feeling on the 20th to the 22nd, where you see the light, you have an illumination of what you need to heal. It's clear to you. A spotlight is on what needs to heal here. All righty. Good luck with that. I'm wishing you the best. With Venus opposite Pluto as well this week, there's a vibration of, going deep, excavating the power of love and the love of power, but going also really, really deep into what holds you back in your life when it comes to your business and love commitments. And also illuminating a light in the house of employees, if you have them, and some chironic healing around employees, if you need to, or employee structures, if you need to, is underway for you. And last but not least, it's the Pisces sun, moon, and rising people. Now, you like Venus, she's your exaltation lord, and she's going to light you up with a surprise connected to pets, rental properties, debts, right? Work and health, connected to surprises in your fourth house, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday this week ahead, 14th, 15th, and 16th. A sudden shocking surprise to do with a rental property opportunity, a debt relief opportunity, something connected to a chunk of money coming your way. She rules chunky money in your chart, and eliminating debt or indebtedness, or money you owe to others or is owed to you, especially if that comes from family of origin or spousal separation issues. Venus is also opening up a channel here in her own special way to unexpected opportunities to maybe change your location by neighborhood, like, a new place in a new city. Like, it's not like necessarily a big change. It's like, okay, I'm going to rent that little space down the street for myself for some reason. If you want to see work opportunities emerge in surprising ways, they can, but they may require you travel or a surprise connected to a sibling. And if there is a surprise connected to a sibling, it may involve money and debts as well that favor you, by the way, that favor you. Then Venus bleeds this through Monday to Wednesday as she trines Neptune. Now, this is usually like kind of divine love, higher love, soulmate love, all that stuff. And it's really more not that. These are Artha or money houses here. And so it's possible that you're going to come into a dreamy, almost kind of unbelievable dream come true financial situation that's really about debts, property, rentals, pets. It could involve siblings in general, can involve earnings and resources. Something wants to shift on the money axis for sure. And it also surprises you. So a surprise shift in your financial axis is occurring here. Okay. And yet it feels a bit like a vision or a dream that you wish to have happen is going to happen or will or can happen. And this is all bleeding through Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, this week ahead. Quite possibly you have a very positive health outcome, and you might be surprised by it, but also very pleased, especially if the health outcome involves cardiovascular, face, or teeth, especially any of those things. Now, the Chironic story is next. Chiron is going to move on the June 19th into a test run of Taurus. He'll be here till September 17th. Chironic wounds around siblings, siblings with health challenges, Chironic wounds with your communication style, your online social media world, or Chironic wounds with your ability to take shorter distance trips. And these Chironic wounds are going to be a story for you until 2033, but you're also looking for the key to purpose in a house that is hugely expressive, to write, to communicate, to market, to sell. And at the same time, it is a house of siblings. And so the siblings house is chironically wounded. Mars there on the ingress, a health problem with a sibling could occur. And as you move through the 20th to the 22nd, the weekend into next Monday, there is the energy of the sun illuminating the story for you, shining a light on the Chironic wound. Now, because the wound is connected as well to a sibling too younger, or the wound is connected as well to matters of debts and money owed between siblings, because the wound is connected to romantic and sexual love, I mean, that's where the sun is. I want you to try to tie those together because it looks like you're doing a bit of a healing thing going on here, the 20th to the 22nd, especially if you're like, say, a wound of love because you have a unhealed wound around how you communicate with that partner, that romantic partner, an unhealed wound around how you communicate with a committed partner, Sun's with Mercury, who rules your seventh house, and an unhealed wound around love relationships and travel, or maybe, like travel. I don't know what that is. Like you could heal an unhealed wound because you're traveling with a committed or romantic love partner during the 20th to the 22nd. Your muse, your inspiration, your enthusiasm, your natural talents and gifts. Sun is shining on the bright spotlight there. How you wish to use those. I do feel wounded in your ability to use those talents and gifts, social media, online, writing, communicating. Is there some wound there? Because you're trying to look at that more clearly, spotlight on your talents, your gifts, your muse, your inspiration, even your entrepreneurial business prospects, and whether you want to heal a wound around not being a self-starter when you always thought you would be. There's things there for you as a Pisces, sun, moon, and rising. Definitely see sibling involvement, though, as well in these Chironic stories. So healing Chironic wounds regarding siblings is definitely a part of the story at this time. Okay. So let's go ahead and let's finish up. Thank you for listening. Don't forget to check out the Taurus webinar. Don't forget to check out the outro, which is coming next, which I'm going to talk with my sister Nancy all about the idea that we have a tool that we can use called Halo, a portable quantum healing device, which has been working wonders for her, my family, her family, and me. And it's Lori 80, I think, for a percentage off. Check below my description box between now and June 22nd. Now let's go ahead and let me end this. I'm going to patch in the extended members version. And in between that, you'll see me and Nancy. I have to still record that with her, talking about the Halo. She was a nurse and she is also a healer, a Reiki healer. And so let's go ahead and you'll see her next. And after that, the extended members version. I'm going to talk with my sister, Nancy Lothian, all about the Halo device that we've been experimenting with together. We've been using this to heal ourselves of various ailments. And we're going to talk about what we've discovered. If you want to buy the Halo device, code Lori80 is our Father's Day special through to June the 22nd. Let's get Nancy in the room. Welcome, Nancy Lothian, my sister, Reiki healer, former hospital nurse of several decades. How are you today? And I'm so glad you're here to talk about the Halo device.
Hi, it's great to be here to talk to you about it too. It's an exciting new device they have, so lots to share.
Yeah, Nancy's been on my channel before talking about another device called Spooky 2 that is also created by the same company. And now we're both have been experimenting with the Halo device. We experiment on each other, as sisters are known to do. So she basically has been running this Halo program for herself, friends, and family, trying it out on this device, which is really small, right, Nancy?
Yeah, I can show you if you can get into the camera.
Perfect.
I think you can see it. So it's just a handheld device. It does come with a little lanyard, so you can wear it around your neck. You can put it in your pocket. You can carry it in your purse. You can have it just sitting on the table beside you, like while you're working, or doing anything. So it's very convenient. It's nice and small. It's super lightweight. So that's basically what the device looks like.
It looks like you're running a relaxation program right now.
I am only because I'm on camera. So I said I better do some relaxation.
Yeah, because she's not the most extroverted person, but I think you're great on
No.
camera. Well, so we've discovered, she does it at a distance as well for other people using a proxy device. Like Reiki healers can often work at a distance by having a proxy doll that represents the client. Nancy's been doing that on and off with me for various ailments that I've had. Like one time I had this really heavy sinus congestion with a sinus headache, unusual for me, but I was coming down with something. This is about a month or two ago, and she ran what did you run on me? But the result was within like 2 hours of turning that program on, all of a sudden my sinus is just completely drained. And I never take decongestant medications. I don't think they're healthy for me. And you ran something on me and it had an immediate effect. What were you running on me for that?
It's a common runny nose. So this is the way the programs are sometimes labeled. It doesn't say like, cough and cold, but it'll be like runny nose. So we're targeting a symptom. Your symptom was a runny nose. So we tried that.
It was a stuffy runny nose and it was like causing all this headache, and all of a sudden it was just like it all cleared out, just like when you guys, when you eat really spicy food and everything just goes right out. It went really fast. And you ran it for me for some kind of difficult pain I had in my body that seemed to really help. Tell me a little bit more about, and a spooky too, and this device, Halo, are working on quantum technology. I'm not sure I completely understand it. Do you?
Well, it's experimental, really. I mean, it's the device gives off a scalar field. Scalar fields are just energy waves that help to work with your cellular like body. So it puts you in a state of relaxation, and it's supposed to help improve your health. So on the basis of quantum physics, there is no time or space. So it's particularly in the scalar field. I think it's the ideal medium to try this, and to seem to have had some success with you.
Yeah. Well, I've been appreciating getting distance healings using this. And in your own life, have you tried it for yourself, and how has it worked?
Yeah, so when I first got the device, I tried it for sleeping because that's what a lot of people say, good sleep. So I tried it, and sure enough, I had like amazing sleep. So I thought, okay, well, this is good. And then the next thing I had some back pain, and it's been bugging me for a while, and nothing was really working. So they have programs on there for back discomfort. So I said, well, what have I got to lose? So I tried it, and I let it run. Like there's different time links for different programs. Some are 30 minutes, some might be a little bit longer. But this one I thought maybe it was like 30 minutes or so. So I let it run like 3 or 4 cycles. And I thought, well, it's really not doing anything. So I just turned it off. And later in the evening, like I went to bed and I was laying in bed. I'm like, oh my God, like my pain's gone. So even though I hadn't noticed it immediately, it eventually caught up to my body and I was pain free. So that was really astounding. So, I've been using it for that. Sometimes it's not always back discomfort. I'll have back discomfort, but depending on the cause of the pain, it might be another program. So sometimes inflammation might be more helpful than back discomfort. So it's a little bit of, you know, trial and error, see which program works. But, you
Well,
know,
how do you do that in terms of a common person getting this device and discerning the inflammation versus generic back pain? I'm wondering, you're a former hospital nurse type woman.
well, it is tricky. It's good to understand your body and understand the dynamics of it. But, you try one. If it doesn't work, you can give it a couple of days or even just 24 hours. And if you're not noticing any improvement, just try another one. You will find something that helps. You just have to, kind of troubleshoot for yourself.
So that's really, really cool. You said you wanted to show me the and our audience what it looks like on the back end of the program. I'd love to see that.
Okay, so I'll bring up the app.
And you said there's also you can also run it for things like better wealth.
Oh, yeah. Well, okay, so the Spooky 2 has, as you can see, this is what the app looks like. It comes with 19 programs that are most common. People will generally want to maybe download on their device right away. But there's various categories. There's some for beauty, which include collagen, thicker hair for women, young body. There's cleansing programs, blood cleansing, heavy metal cleansing, liver cleansing, kidney cleansing, lymphatic. there's the comfort. This is what I was talking about for back discomfort. Head discomfort would be headaches. There's shoulder and neck discomfort, stomach discomfort, all the kinds of things that, you know, those will work as well. But they also have programs. Whoops, I think I went a little too far here. Back up.
And these programs that you're looking at on your device, which is your laptop, you have a Android or non-Mac.
I have an Android. It will work with a Mac.
Okay.
There is a way to use it with the Mac. The device itself fits up to 50 programs. And you can see here on the right side of the screen, I have, I can't see how many are loaded because our screen is in the way, Lori, but I probably
it says 28 out of 50 you got loaded.
Okay, 28 out of 50. Yeah, so some of the ones that I might use more commonly are on here, and I added a few extra just so people could see, what it looks like once it's on your device.
I like Nancy, I like the one for good luck.
Yeah, well, could use some good luck.
Are you kidding me? I'm going to have to get my own halo, and I'm going to have the permanent setting for good luck.
Yeah, so there's different sleep programs. There's physical well-being. This is where it was like current runny nose or common runny nose, like we were talking about earlier. There's some for eyesight, memory, parasites, your pineal gland. There's even male programs on here for prostate health. And we also have programs for women too. Breast care down here, breast discomfort, menopause, menstrual discomfort. And then the solfeggios are also very nice. I often will use the 528 hertz on my cat.
Mm-hmm.
So some of these I feel safe to, use with her, like that one, or the aura cleansing I've used on her. Love frequency I've also used on her. And there's also 7 chakras, and I've also used that on her.
So when you're using this for your animal, your pet, how do you, I'm always not sure how this scalar device works. When you send me the energy with a proxy doll, is it like you set the intention it's going for Lori? How do you discern this halo device in your home is affecting you or your husband or your cat?
Right. So I'm a Reiki healer, so I often send energy, through quantum physics, but, I think probably anybody can with intention, but I also, utilize my Reiki symbols for distance to make sure I'm connected to your energy. The device will radiate a 3-foot circumference around your body. So, if Ashes was sitting beside me, she'd be in the field and she'd be getting whatever I'm getting.
Oh, I see. Okay, that's great. So people who want to soothe an anxious animal or your pet's recovering from an illness, you could just simply open up the scalar field on the halo and have the animal sit with you.
Sit with me. Or I've often, while she's in her bed sleeping, I know she'll be there for 2 to 3 hours. I'll just sit it outside her sleeping area, right beside her basket.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Wherever she's lying down. But, like there is the peptide programs in here. And peptides are amino acids, and we have them naturally occurring in our body, but our peptides are not the same as our animals' peptides. So with these, I feel a little bit more cautious.
Oh, that's good to know.
Yeah, for animals, but for the other ones, most of them are probably safe. Lots of people use the halo with their pets as well, their cats or dogs. Dogs are a little more similar than cats when it comes to, the amino acids and stuff, but I use like I said, I use a lot of the ones that are just like good for her. And even still, just being in the scalar field that the device emanates is also healing in just in itself. And
Wonderful.
there's no overdosing on any of these energy waves. And with the peptides, it's like a cup of water. Your body's only going to take so much. It'll just overflow, but it can't harm you. It's just going to pour out and not go anywhere else any longer.
Okay, so right now, as I'm looking at it, I see the peptide library and the regular library, and all the things around us. Are these regular libraries, or are we in peptide?
This is just all peptides. So for almost every program that's in the regular program, you can find a corresponding peptide program. They say the peptides are a little bit better because they're more targeted. So like everybody's heard of collagen peptides. We have collagen peptides in beauty here. You'll find that in
Oh, I
Uranus
see. The letter
green
P for peptides. Gotcha.
P for peptides. So anything with a P, because we're in the library for peptides, only has a P on it. So once it's in your device, as you see on the right, I have digestion and then a P beside it. So that lets me know that's a peptide specifically targeted for digestion.
Okay, that's really, really cool. Sciatica support. So many people have sciatica. That's a
And
great
it's
one.
no, for sure. And that's one of the newer ones. And I've already heard people have great success with that one who are having back pain and couldn't find any relief, tried all the ones, and then the sciatica was added to the program and the pain was gone. So, you know,
This is so exciting.
there's
I
no shortage of,
Yeah.
options here. We even have vitamins and minerals in here.
So we must use our disclaimer here, which is on every one of my videos. We are not your doctor. We're not giving you medical advice. This is not instead of your regular doctor's advice programs or medicine for you. You would use this in an adjunct way. Like if you have tooth and gum discomfort, which I can see on the program, surely use it. But if you need to have a filling or you've got an infection there, and this isn't like necessarily the only solution, you're going to always use this tool with everything else you're using. Would you say that's true?
oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Don't ignore your doctor. Work alongside your doctor is the best thing you could do, really.
Exactly. We have to remind people again, just like financial advice from astrologers or a program like this, where Nancy, even though she worked as a nurse and she's a Reiki healer, we're giving you alternatives to work with, not instead of medical care, but in addition to medical care.
Oh, exactly. And the nice thing about this too, you could use it while you're sleeping. It has a USB charger. You just plug it in at night. You can put it on your nightstand and you can run whatever you want overnight as the device is charging as well, which I often do. I'll
I
either run the
love it.
good sleep or I'll run the young body because the young body one is one that's supposed to help lengthen your telomeres. So it does so much, so
Telomeres, yes.
you can get, treated while you're sleeping.
That's amazing. Well, I love the one for shoulder discomfort there, shoulder and neck. It's just my shoulder. I probably should get you to run that on me. This shoulder is way better than it was a year ago, but let's still working on recovering from whatever I did wrong to it. So, I mean, I just the idea that I could add to what else I do for my shoulder, I could add in this, device and it could make all the difference. So, I mean, I haven't tried it yet. So that's really cool. All right, Nancy, I think that was great. I think we're finished. Do you want to say goodbye to our audience?
Yeah, so thanks everybody for listening. Try this.
Oh yeah, come back to you. Let's
like
unshare. Let's unshare
Oh.
so I can see she's got this cute little haircut she just got. She looks so great in it. So 60s.
Yeah. All right, thanks everybody. It's been a pleasure.
Oh, wait, and one more thing Nancy has to say. Even though she is a Reiki healer, she's no longer seeing new clients. So, because people are going to say, "Oh, can we have a healing with her?" You've closed your calendar down right now, right?
Yeah, I'm closing it down by the end of June. So
Okay, all right. So don't worry, we
moving
won't.
on.
Don't look to her for Reiki healing, but just know that as a healer herself, she's used this device. So her expertise is real medical care in hospital settings, plus a non-ordinary Reiki. Thanks, Nancy. I appreciate your time. And again, it's a Halo device by the same makers of Spooky 2. And I'll put in the description box all the information you need to go ahead and get this device. I think my code for Father's Day until June 22nd is Lori 8. No, Lori 80. Lori 80. I'll put it in the description box below. All right, Nancy, take care. I'll see you soon.
Okay,
I'm going to hang us both up so I can get more recordings done.
Okay, bye-bye.
Ciao, ciao, Nance.
Lunatic astrology.